Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for being here today. Imagine walking into a primary school classroom. The teacher has exactly 30 minutes to prepare custom reading materials, level appropriate vocabulary lists, and interactive comprehension quizzes for a class of 30 children, each with wholly different learning style. Historically, this was an almost impossible task. Today, however, we stand on the cusp of an educational revolution driven by generative artificial intelligence. My name is Amelia Murni from University Sarjana Wiyata Taman Siswa, and today I am honored to present a groundbreaking study titled Integrating Generative AI in Primary English Material Design. The study, conducted by Tommy Hastomo, Utami Widiati, Francisca Maria Ivone, and Evynurul Laily from University Negeri Malang and STKIP PGRI Bandar Lampung takes a deep dive into how real educators are navigating this transformation. As we kick off, it is important to realize that this research is not just about technology, it is about agency. It explores how primary school English teachers are changing from passive consumers of prepackaged curricula into active AI empowered material design. Let us look at the academic and regional context of this work. To set the stage, this study was published very recently on March 80, 2026 in the prestigious peer-reviewed journal also known as the Journal of Elementary Education. The core keywords anchoring our discussion today are artificial intelligence, generative AI, English material design, primary education, and teacher perception. The primary goal of this research was to understand how elementary English language teaching or ALT educator perceive the sudden massive influx of generative AI tools in their daily material creation. Every good research begins with a critical why. Why do we need this study? Despite the absolute explosion of AI literature over the past few years, we have identified two notable gaps. First, there is a higher education predominance. Almost all systemic study focus on high school or universities. Second, we see an understated application in primary school material design. Primary education requires completely different pedagogical strategies. Vocabulary must be high graded, visuals must be rich, and topic must keep short attention span engaged. Yet, systematic research on how teachers design these exact primary materials using AI has been virtually non-existent until now. To bridge this gap, the core purpose of this study is to investigate the exact usage patterns and perception of elementary English teacher using generative AI in Indonesian classroom. Specifically, we seek to answer two research questions. One, how do primary teacher perceive generative AI integration? Two, what specific English material are they commonly developing with these tools? The novelty of this work is profound. It is the very first context-specific study examining primary school educator prompt integration and material modification in the region of Lampung, Indonesia. Now, let's look at how the research activities. The study adopted an interpretivist constructivist paradigm. This meant we prioritize the depth of the teacher life experience over dry universal statistics. We chose a phenomenological case study designed to capture real first-hand instructional interaction in actual classroom. The research took place in Lampung province, Indonesia, by utilizing purposive maximum variation sampling. The research select 20 certified teachers from a wide range of backgrounds spanning urban, suburban, and rural districts. This ensured that our data reflects a realistic spectrum of technological infrastructure. One of the most impressive parts of this research design is its focus on methodological rigor to break what we call the Saidu gap. The difference between what teachers say they do and what they actually do. We use dual instrument triangulation. We gathered qualitative data through semi-structured interview lasting 45 to 60 minutes. But we didn't stop there. We also conducted an artifact document analysis, cross-referencing the teacher's actual submit prompts, the raw AI output, and the final material used in classroom. All of this qualitative data was processed and analyzed using Vivo software. Let's dive into the results structured around the famous technology acceptance model or TAM. We discovered a fascinating duality among the 20 certified Indonesian teachers. On the positive side, the perceived usefulness of AI was incredibly high. Teacher reported immense gains in efficiency, generating worksheets in minutes instead of hours. On the positive side, the perceived usefulness of AI was incredibly high. Teacher reported immense gains in efficiency, generating worksheets in minutes instead of hours. They praised personalization using AI to instantly adapt reading level for different students and love the ideating sport for creative storytelling. However, perceived ease of use was a major barrier. Teachers face pedagogical uncertainty, struggling to link raw AI output with curriculum standard. They suffered from a confidence deficit due to a lack of formal training and expressed deep ethical concern regarding algorithmic bias, accuracy, and data security. So, what are their teacher actually creating? Our artifact analysis revealed three main categories of AI generated material. First, we have foundational content. This includes highly customizable worksheet, vocabulary reference lists, and lexically graded reading text designed specifically for young learners. Second, teacher-generated skill-specific practice such as targeting exact grammar points, creating templates for conversational role plays, and setting up guided reading prompts. Finally, they use AI for assessment and prompt, creating interactive quizzes questions describing visual prompt for drawing activities and drafting comprehension check. This brings us to our core conclusion. The overall mindset of primary school English teacher in this study can be described as one of caution optimism. Currently, generative AI is primarily used as a labor-saving assistant to reduce heavy workload rather than a tool-driven pedagogical innovation. This is beautifully summarized by participant 40, a veteran teacher who states the tool is a great assistant, but I must always be the one in control of the final material. It is a profound reminder that AI is here to assist the teacher, not to place them. To maintain academic honesty, let us critically evaluate this study. On the strength side, the use of artifact integration matching interviewers with actual prompt document greatly reduced subjective self-report bias. Furthermore, the selection of urban, suburban, and rural setting in Lampung significantly boosted their study contextual validity. However, we must acknowledge two limitations. First, our geographical scope is limited. Analyzing 20 teachers in Lampung means we cannot generalize these findings across all of Indonesia. Second, we are missing student data. This study focus entirely on teacher perception. We have not yet tested how effective this AI generate material actually are on student learning outcomes. Based on our finding, we propose for full future research pathway. 1. Sample expansion. We need to scale this research nationally and globally to see how different cultural and regional factors affect AI adoption. To impact metric, we must directly measure student learning outcomes to see if AI design material actually improve English proficiency. 3. Professional development. We need to study the long-term impact of target prompt engineering courses on teacher confidence. 4. AI literacy policies. Finally, we must design structural frameworks and guidelines to help schools integrate AI safely, ethically, and effectively. Feedback. Currently, the research focus is limited to the perspective of teacher perception, a valuable addition to this research would be the inclusion of a quasi-experiment or a longitudinal study to measure the effectiveness of the AI-generated material directly within the classroom setting. The research identified a lack of confidence among teachers stemming from a shortage of formal training. A particular recommendation is to design a prompt engineering training program based on course generational collaboration where senior teacher learns alongside junior teacher or pre-certified primary education or PGSD interns. And with that, I would like to bring this presentation to a close. If we want our young learners to thrive in a AI-driven world, we must first empower the teacher who guide them. Generative AI is a powerful wind at our back, but it is the teacher of Lampung and teacher everywhere who must hold the rudder. Thank you so much for your time and attention. I would now like to open the floor to any question, comments, or discussion you may have.